Hi, grade 11. This is Mr. Choke. Welcome to our last lesson of paper 1. I hope that you guys, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to use it profitably to prepare for tomorrow's paper for those who are in Gauteng. Now, in this lesson, we're going to be doing balance sheet. Now, in balance sheet, remember, guys, they are going to expect you to do specific notes. So what do you need to make sure that you do? You need to make sure that you know your notes by heart. The most common notes that they like is fixed asset note, trade and other receivables, trade and other payables, and current account. Those are the most common notes that they will normally assess for the balance sheet. So please make sure that you know those notes by heart so that you can be able to ace your exams. Now, in this question, we are supposed to spend 40 minutes and it's going to give us 50 marks. So what we'll do, we will start with the concepts. So these are the concepts that we are given, and these are the explanations that we have. So here we have going concern. Now remember, in terms of going concern, it speaks about the things that are going to happen in the future. Like, for example, when we prepare our financial statements, we prepare keeping in mind that our business will continue to operate in the future. So here they've given us the concept, so we need to check which one best matches with going concern. So here they're saying the partnership reflects trading stock in the balance sheet as 60,000. Even though they are planning on having a sale next month, the stock will then be sold for 40,000. So when you look at this word will, it speaks about the future. So it means that going concern, it will be letter C. Okay. Next, they're saying that solvency. Remember, in terms of solvency, we are talking about the ability of the business to cover all its debts. So solvency will be number A. And then the next one, we have 3.1.3, which is balance sheet. Now, in terms of balance sheet, we know it has to speak about the financial position. So it will be number B here. And then next, it's liquidity. We know in terms of liquidity, it speaks about the ability to pay short-term debt. So it will be number E here. So you need to make sure that you master your concepts. Here they're saying prepare the equity and liability section of the statement of financial position on 28 February 2023. Show all calculations related to the notes in brackets. So it means that if the examiner has not required you to do the notes, you are supposed to show the calculations in bracket. So here we go. These are the balances that appeared, among others, in the general ledger of HOPT, traders on 28 February 2023. So this is our closing. Now, when you do balance sheet, guys, this is what you need to make sure that you do. Always start by transferring the information that is given to you in the trial balance or general ledger. Okay. So now let's check our answer book. We have our capital balance for OPT. It's 200,000. So we'll have that 200,000 will plus the capital contribution of another partner, which is 170,000. So we'll say plus 170,000, and then from there we move to the next one. We have the current account of OPT, which is this one is a debit balance. So I suggest that you start with the credit one, which is 10,360. So we'll have that 10,360. Then we minus the debit one, which is 1,690. Okay, why are we minusing it? Because it is in brackets. Now for ABSA, we are going to wait a bit. We'll come back. Next, we have trading stock. Remember, trading stock is not part of what we are supposed to do, but the information might come in. The task control also is not part of what we are supposed to do. Accrued income. Remember, in terms of accrued income falls as part of our trade and other receivables. And then we have cash flow, then petty cash. So this information for now is not helpful for us. Maybe in the future, as we continue, it might. Then we have creditors control for 20,024,070. Okay, So we'll write it here, 24,070. And then we also have create SARS pay for 3,500. So we will say plus 3,500, and then we have bank overdraft, which is a balancing fee. So here we'll have our bank overdraft. Okay, and then from there we have pension fund for 500. So remember, it's part of trade and other payables. So we'll say plus 500, and then we have income received in advance for 700, which is part of our liabilities. So we'll say plus 700, and then after this we go to additional information. So here they're saying on 28 February 2023, Property contributed equipment to the value of 30,000 to equalize the capital contribution, and they're saying that this entry was not recorded. So if they're saying an entry has not been recorded, it means we must record. So under capital, we are going to say plus 30,000. Okay, then we move to the next one. They're saying that the loan statement was received from Absa Bank regarding the loan. Number one, this is the opening balance. These are the repayments, and then this is the interest is unknown, but we know the closing balance is 40,000. So what we can do, we can go straight to your loan and write that 40,000 in brackets. Okay. Next, we hear what they are saying. Here they're saying the business will pay off the same capital portion of the loan in the in the next financial year as the current year. So they are saying that what they paid this year is what they are going to pay in the next year. So we know that if we take 49,000 and then we minus this, it won't give us our closing balance. So let's see. If you say 49,000, you minus 12,000, it gives you 37,000. It gives you 37,000. So it means obviously when you compare between 37,000 and 40,000, it means that our interest here was 3,000, because if you say 37 minus 40, it will give you 3. So our answer here is 3,000. So now our short-term loan here, they're saying it's going to be the capital portion. Remember, is the difference between your repayments that include interest and interest. So this will be our short-term loan. So in terms of our short-term loan, we're going to say 12,000 minus, so let's see, 12,000 minus 3,000. So it will be 12,000 minus 3,000, which gives us I think 9,000. So it gives us 9,000. So under long-term loan, we're going to say 40,000 minus 9,000. Also remember, your short-term loan, you should subtract it, right? So 40,000 minus 9,000, we are left with 31,000. So our non-current liabilities is 31,000. Then from there, we go to the next one. They are saying that the current ratio is 2:1. Now, if you look at here, remember I was saying there are some things that they gave us that we are supposed to use. If you look at this, your trading stock, your debtors control, accrued income, your cash flow, they are part of our what do we call it, current assets. But here the tricky part is that they didn't tell you exactly. So it means we need to add these three items because they didn't give us the total of current assets. So if you don't know them, you are going to have a problem. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, they are part of trade of our current assets. So we'd say 58,000 and 40 plus 70,000 plus 3,000, and then we also say plus 7,000. It gives us 138,000 and 40, right? Now remember, you must show that you have added all this in your answer book. Show somewhere that you have added this. Okay, so now then we need to go back and write down that information in a way that it will help us to know whether we are dividing or multiplying. So remember, the formula says current assets is to current liabilities. Right now, our current assets we know is the total is 138,040. You compare it to your x, right? Now, because we know that the answer that they gave us, they said the answer is 2 is to 1. So the answer is 2 is to 1. So it means this is what we are going to do. It already tells you that you are going to cross multiply, which will give you 2x is equals to 138,040. So obviously we will divide by the 138,040, and we also, sorry, we divide by 2, man, not 138,040, right? So because we want x, we divide by 2, we divide by 2 this side. Remember, they divided by 138,040 while they were here to get this. So in this case, 2 will cancel 2, and then when we divide this one, we will get our x. So I'm just gonna go straight and write it. So under current liabilities, we're going to say 138,040 divide, remember, is divide by 2. So 138,040 divided by 2, it gives us 69,020. Now let's get the total of our trade and other payables. So if we say 24,070 plus 3,500, and then we say plus 500 plus 700, it gives us 28,770. So obviously our bank overdraft is our balancing figure here. So therefore we're going to say 69,020 minus 28770 minus 9,000. It gives us 31,250. Okay guys, now let's close up our capital. So if you say 200,000 plus 170,000 and then plus 30,000, it gives you 400,000. Now when we say 10,360 minus 1,690, it gives us 8670. So 8670 plus 400,000, it will give us 408,670. Okay, now 408,670 plus 31,000, and then also plus 6,920, it gives us 508,690. So by doing this, you have completed the balance sheet. I'm just not sure what was the time that you are supposed to spend on this, but remember this has got 2 questions, so it means we are left with less than 20 minutes to do the second part. So actually we are left with more, but we will try to push it as quickly as possible. So on 3.2, it's a very independent question. Here is saying the following information was extracted from the accounting records of Iron Man toy store. The store is a partnership between Iron and Mr. Man, and then they're saying that required prepare the current account note as it will appear in the notes to the financial statements of for the year ending 28 February 2023, and this is for 25 marks. So this is the information that they're giving us. The following balances appeared in the ledger of Iron Man Toy Store on 28 February 2023. So our year will start on the 1st of March then. Now this is the information that they're giving us: our capital, our current account, and then also the drawings. Now let's start with drawing. So here they're saying Ions took stock to the value of 35,000, and this was donated to a local charity in his personal capacity. So this guy took stock amounting to, so in terms of Ion, his total drawings will be 25,000 plus 35,000. Okay, so for Ion, when we calculate his drawings, we're going to say 25,000 plus 35,000, which will give us 60,000. So drawings for Ion, we are going to put 60,000. Remember we said 25,000 plus 35,000, and then the drawings for the other partner, there's nothing that is being said if you look at this, so obviously it means we will continue. Okay, so the drawings for men, they will remain as they were given as 30,000, so that 30,000 will be in brackets here. Then we proceed with the next transaction. Next, they're saying that on 1 March 2022, Ion increased his capital by 175, and then no entry has been made for this transaction. So now here's the tricky part, guys. Remember 1 March 2022 is the beginning of our financial year, and then we are required here to also calculate interest on capital for Ion. So here's what you need to check: his interest on capital, because the increase of capital is done at the end of the year. They're saying that this transaction was not, at the beginning of the year. It means he will earn interest on the opening balance plus this amount. So let's hear what they're saying about interest. They're saying that partners are entitled to interest of 15% per annum on their capital balances at the end of the financial year. So they will earn interest based on what they have at the end of the year. So now remember, for Ion, when we started the year, his capital was 360,000. So if you say 360,000 and then you add together, so his total capital at the end of the year, we will say 360,000 plus 175,000. Let's see how much we get. So his total capital will be, remember, we will say 360,000 plus 175,000, which gives you 535,000. Then his interest will therefore be 535,000 535,000. So according to here, they said his interest is 15% per annum. So it means you're going to multiply by 15 over 100, and then you multiply by 12 over 12. So if you say 535,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 100, it gives us 80,250. So his interest on capital for, who is this guy? For Ion, we are going to write 80,250. Interest on capital, 80,250. And then remember, interest on capital for men remained at 760,000. Nothing changed. So say 760,000 multiply by 15 over 100 multiply by 12 over 12. So 760,000 multiply by 15 divided by 100. Let me see. So remember, his capital is 760,000 for men, and then the interest is 15,000. Let me see. So 760,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 100. Okay, it gives us 100 14,000. So his interest on capital will then be reflected as 114,000. Very important for you to make sure that you show this as part of your workings. Okay. Next, they're saying that on 1 January 2022, Ion received a 10% increase on his monthly salary of 26,500, and then they're saying that no further increases were given. So this is what we need to check. Now, remember this guy, for Ion, for us to get his salary, they said, remember our year start on the 1st of March 2022 to 28 February 2023. So here the increase happens before we started the year. So obviously it means for the entire year he will enjoy that increase. So for us to be able to figure out how much he's going to earn, we are going to say 26,500 multiplied by 110 over 100, and then we multiply this by 12 because we are looking for a yearly salary. So you'll say 26,500 multiplied by 110 divide by 100 and then times 12, which will give you 349,800. So for Ion salary, we are going to have 349,800 under salary. So we'll have 349,800. And then let's see what they're saying about men. So about men, they're saying that men's salary for the year amounted to 425,000. So it means on men's salary, we're going to write 425,000. And then after this, they are saying that at the end of the financial year, men only received a bonus equals to 12% of his salary. So let's check. For men, his monthly salary is 425,000. So it means to get his bonus, we're going to say 425,000 multiplied by 12 over 100. Remember, they said he will get only his bonus is only 12% of his annual salary. So if we say 425,000 multiplied by 12 divide by 100, 425,000 multiplied by 12 divide by 100, it gives us 51,000. So under bonus for men, we are going to write 51,000. And then after this, they are saying that Ion received a bonus of 12,000 at the end of the financial year. So for Ion, we are going to give him a bonus of 12,000. So to get our primary distribution, we will have to add these three items. So 349,800 plus 12,000 and then plus 80,250 gives us 442,050. Then we go to men, 425,000 plus 51,000 and then plus 114,000. It gives us 590,000. Now for us to be able to get his profit for the year, we'll need to hear what they're saying. So men's profit for the year will be 590,000 plus 125,000, which gives us 715,000. So for Ion, let's hear what they're saying. So for Ion, they're saying that men's portion of the final distribution of the profit is 125. So remember, they are sharing in the ratio of 3:2, and then 3 is for Ion, right? And then 2 is for men. So to get what we want, we are going to say, remember, we are given the one for men. We are looking for the one for Ion. So it means to get Ion's final distribution, we are going to say 125,000 multiplied by 3/2. Okay, so that's what they want us to calculate here. So it will be 125,000 multiplied by 3/2. It gives us 187,500. So that 187,500, we are going to write it here, final distribution 187,500. So now let's get the final distribution for this guy. So it will be 442,000. Our document disappeared. So it will be 442,050, and then we say plus 187,500. It will give us our profit per income statement of 629,550. Now when we take this 629,000 629,550, and then we subtract our drawings of 60,000, is going to give us retained income for the year of 569,550. So I'm going to repeat. If we say 629,550, and then we say minus 60,000, it gives us 569,550. And then when we go to man, we're going to say 715,000. We say minus 30,000, which gives us 685,000. Okay, let's see. 715,000 minus 30,000, 685,000. Now let's check their balances at the beginning. Very important for us to make sure that we pay attention to sign. So for Ion, he had a debit balance of 2,300. So Ion will put that 2,300 in brackets, and then for men, he had a credit balance of 4,500. So we'll have that 4,500 here. Now let's see. 569,550 minus 2.3. It gives us 567,250. And then when we are saying 685,000 plus 4.5, it gives us 689,500. Guys, if you want me to become your online tutor, you are more than welcome to contact us on 073-036-3208. Our lessons are only from 500, where we'll prepare you for both paper 1 and paper 2. And then please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to also make sure that you leave your comments on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. May God richly bless you. Shalom.